The heart of the practice is the practice in daily life. Dhamma practice consists of 3 aspects. First, we must uphold the 5 moral precepts. Second, we must practice in a formal manner. Third, we must practice in daily life. This is a must. Teachers often teach that the heart of the practice is the practice in daily life because for the most part, we live our ordinary lives. We are not practicing deep meditation or sitting or walking meditation all day long. On any given day, how much meditation can we do, especially for lay people? Not much. Most of our lives are spent in this ordinary world. If we can integrate the practice into our ordinary lives, we can progress quickly and not be inferior to the monks at the beginning levels, the stream enterers, and the once returners. Lay practitioners are not inferior to monks in terms of speed of progress. If we understand the practice principles and truly intend to practice, we may even progress faster than the monks. Adhering to the formal practice regimen at the beginning is a way to cultivate mindfulness. When mindfulness is present, we can use it in our daily lives. The pivotal point is who cultivates mindfulness in daily life. For those who cannot cultivate mindfulness in daily life, the path to Nibbana within this lifetime remains far off indeed. It is extremely difficult for one to attain true mindfulness. However, for someone who has achieved true mindfulness, reaching the path of enlightening and the fruit of Nirvana in this life is not difficult. If you want freedom from suffering, you must be determined to practice regularly and observe sensibly whether your practice is correct or not. If you occasionally visit the temple and listen to teaching CDs at night, but have no mindfulness during the day, you will not get results. If you want to see results, you must practice regularly. Regular practice does not mean just practicing every day, but all day, as much as you can. So you need to practice not only every day, but all day long to see results. The exception is when you need to do knowledge work. All other times are good to practice. This is why some people see results within just a few years, while others practice for 10, 20, 30 years without results. You can't simply count years. This is because their minds are mostly lost in thought. They concentrate only on daily formal meditation and let themselves indulge in defilements for the rest of the time. By living that way, you won't be able to fight against the currents of worldly matters and defilements. Once we understand the proper principles of Dhamma, it is time to put the teachings to practice in our daily lives. Let's get rid of the image that many of us have in our heads that a good Vipassana or Dhamma practitioner sits cross-legged with eyes and ears closed. The most important part of the practice is mindfulness throughout our regular activities in daily life. Whenever an impurity arises in the mind, we must know that it has, right then and there, irrespective of what else we may be doing at the time. That is called Dhamma practice. When the body makes a movement and we know it, that is Dhamma practice. When the mind forms a thought or an emotion and we know it has just done so, then we practice Dhamma for that moment. Now, when we are at work, we should be focused on our duties at hand. However, if we have a few minutes here and there with nothing to do, we can immediately start to watch the body and the mind. Or, while we work, if stress enters the mind, we can know that stress has arisen. That is Dhamma practice, right then and there. Perhaps we are hurrying to complete a project and then someone calls and it is wasting our time. Our mind feels angry. We then can practice mindfulness and know that anger has arisen. Then we keep working away until we look at the clock and it is lunchtime. Satisfaction arises and we become aware and see that it has. This is what a true Dhamma practitioner does. Next, we go to lunch and walk along, watching the body walk. The mind is the observer and the body is being observed. What to eat? There are so many great choices today. We must be very hungry as everything looks wonderful. The mind is indecisive. We know that it is. On some days, nothing at all looks appetizing and the mind feels annoyed. This cafeteria sucks. Why can't they be more original? If we don't have mindfulness, the hungrier we are, the more we complain. Sometimes we have to use the washroom really badly. We run to the washroom and see that all the stalls are full. We really start to worry. Now it is an emergency and our belly is in serious pain. We then run to the washroom on another floor and see it is full too, and people are waiting in line. The mind is in a panic. We come to know that this is so. If we can have mindfulness that sees the anxiety, then our stomach may be in pain, but our mind will not be. This is Dhamma practice. We watch our mind and see what happens moment to moment. Soon, we will see that our mind is always in flux. One moment it is happy, the next it is unhappy, the next it is neutral. One moment the mind is wholesome and joyfully practicing the Dhamma, and the next moment it is struggling, lost in a painful story. Can we see this? The mind in a flash changes from greedy to angry, and then off in thought. We are not practicing to be superhuman. We are just to be ordinary people like we are now. We keep practicing in daily life to see what an ordinary human body and mind are like, what their true characteristics are. When we understand their true characteristics, we won't be upset when this or that happens to the body and mind. Getting old is normal. Getting sick is normal, and dying is normal. Not getting what we want is normal. Getting what we don't want is normal. Dreams coming true, dreams shattered are all normal and natural experiences. We cannot depend on this body and this mind. They cannot bring us any comfort or happiness we can truly rely on. Accepting this, whatever happens in our life will appear as if it is happening to someone else and not us. If there is no us, then who is it that acts? It is the body and mind, the aggregates that all act on their own. And it is the aggregates that receive the results of the actions too. There is no person to experience the results of our actions. There are only aggregates of body and mind that do. We break free from the cycle of karma, one could say. There is tremendous relief and incomparable happiness when we are no longer living in the delusion that there is a self. With full wisdom, it is the aggregates and not us that move about functionally doing this and that. And if there are just aggregates and the idea of me is just a delusion, then who suffers? The body and mind may suffer, but we certainly don't. We become free from suffering because we have a correct understanding of the way things are. We have enlightened wisdom. The cycle of birth and death is a very long and painful one. It is a very rare occurrence that a being will have a chance to listen to and become interested in the Dhamma that liberates us from this cycle of suffering once and for all. Let's not spend our time mindlessly and without meaning. Let's gradually bring awareness to our body and our mind and practice the Buddhist way to peace of mind.